side. Can you talk about those changes and why they were made?
Yeah, it was, it was a decision that we didn't make lightly or spontaneously. There was a lot of thought going into this. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. We have an ownership group that has a lot of high expectations, and at times we move at a challenging pace. But this has to do with our overall business strategy, accountability, and we felt as though there was a change needed in the leadership group. And we have two individuals that are stepping up and changing their roles and taking on more responsibility. We have the utmost confidence and trust in them, and as does our entire front office staff.
How much does this have to do with attendance?
No, this has nothing to do with attendance. This is overall business strategy, so this isn't focused on attendance.
How disappointed are you in the attendance?
Well, yeah, we'd love to see more people here, but look, like we said before, we're working hard on gaining the trust of our fan base. There are some positives. We have had some engagement from a lot of new fans this year, but yeah, we'd like to see that improve, and that's what we're working hard to do.
Derek, obviously we don't see everything behind the scenes, but in respect to Chip, he was only here 14 months. What realistically could you have seen in the ownership group had seen in 14 months?
There's really no need to get into the details. Like I said, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but we felt as though at this time it was necessary to make a change.
Was it a bottom line issue, or was it a financial issue?
There's a lot of things that go into the decision.
Can I follow up on that?
Sure.
You've preached on the baseball side so much about patience.
Oh, yeah.
And also about how you're kind of impatient. So where is the match, and would you say that you were patient?
Well, I think one thing you have to understand is our ownership group has invested a lot of money into equipping our team with the tools to be successful. And like I said, we have high expectations. Some of those expectations weren't met, so we felt as though it's time for us to make a change. But like I said, I don't want to get into all the details. We thank Chip for his efforts while he was here. We wish him best, all the best moving forward. But this was a move that we needed to make.
Derek, it's such a unique situation here in Miami.
Yep.
How unique of an individual does it take to do that job? And like you said, there's one thing to be patient, but when the move has to be made, it has to be made. That's
yeah,
simple?
but I like to focus on the people that are in place now. Adam Jones, Caroline, those two have been working tirelessly. They've been working hard. They have the utmost trust of the ownership group and the front office staff, and we're excited about their new roles. But look, yeah, we have a lot of work to do. No one's ever shied away from that. Like I said, we move at times at a very challenging pace. But that's what the pace that we need to move at if we're going to have the success that we all anticipate on having.
How close are things with the television deal, with the naming rights for the ballpark? Are those things Chip was involved in, or things that are close to being?
We're still having ongoing conversations. Those are obviously two things that take a little bit of time, but those conversations have been. They've started, and then we'll continue to have those conversations.
Are you close at all to a television, any kind of deal with Fox?
I'm big on not jinxing anything, my friend. So I'll let you know when it's finished.
In terms of the stadium naming rights, that's something that's been going on really since the park has been open.
Yeah.
Why do you think the struggle from the beginning and even till now?
You know what? I can't comment on from the beginning. From this point, since we've taken over the organization, we have to introduce ourselves to a lot of people. When you have a naming rights deal, that's a long-term deal, and it's a partnership, and you really want to make sure that you have the right person with their name, right company with their name on this building. So it takes a little time to get to know people. It takes time for them to get to know us as well. But that's not a decision that's taken lightly. A lot of work goes into it. Those conversations have started as well.
Derek, how much with technology changing and TV deals? There's a lot of avenues now besides just mainstream TV to go with. How much in consideration do you take some of that stuff looking forward?
Well, I think everyone takes things into consideration. I think what's obviously complicated the situation also is the Fox and the MLB deal, but more importantly the Fox deal with Disney. So it's very complicated.
What's your reaction to the team's play the first 30 games?
Not happy. I'm not happy. Michael Hill's not happy. Donnie's not happy. I'm sure the players are not happy. I think everyone knows we're better than this. But you have to go out there and you have to make adjustments and you have to perform. I said this when we were in spring training. We all need to improve individually and collectively. But there shouldn't be a person in this building that's happy with how we play.
How about organizationally, doing the minors, all the feedback you're getting from top to bottom in terms of baseball?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of our prospects in the minor league player development side. They've made improvements, right? And I think a lot of the fans here obviously don't get an opportunity to see what our players are doing at our minor league affiliates, but we pay close attention to it, and we're happy with some of the progress that our players have made and what progress that they're going to continue to make.
Eric, you mentioned a couple of times the group and the ownership group. Obviously, there's a lot of decision makers involved, but who makes the decision like this? How do you come to a big decision and change like was made yesterday?
I do.
So you made the.
Yeah.
On the subject of 1 p.m. day games.
The subject, I'm sorry.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
I'm sorry, 1 p.m. games with the roof open. At least 2 of the Nationals hitters after the game, the last Sunday game here, were very critical of the visual aspect of the shadows running across home plate, particularly early in the game. Were you aware? Zimmerman and Eaton both were very outspoken about it after the game.
You're talking about shadows? What you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, and Adam Eaton said it was a health issue. He thought it was a safety issue. So.
Well, look, every park around the country has shadows at some point in time. So they won that game, right?
Actually, Zimmerman hit 2 home runs. I think that's one of the reasons he felt like he could talk.
We'll make sure we're closing next time he comes in. I'll tell you that'll help out. Look, shadows is something that people. You ever played a postseason game at 4 o'clock?
I'm just
You
asking.
deal with shadows. So look, I played the game. I understand how bad shadows are. If it's something that we'll address moving forward, but
You do not see it as a problem.
shadows are a problem. Oh, yeah.
Well, the 1
Shadows are a problem.
p.m. games with the roof open.
How many times have we done that?
Well,
Twice? Two times? Yeah, so we have more problems than just shadows at 1 o'clock game. So I guess that's all I can say on that.
Derek, one of the things they were saying is a safety issue. They alluded to one issue where one of the guys they said almost got hit in the head by a line drive on
Oh,
there.
man, I've played in a lot of 4 o'clock games with shadows around the country. Look, a lot of postseason games with shadows. There's some things you can't address. Obviously, if it becomes an issue like that, then look, I never like playing in shadows either. But one thing we don't want to do is start making excuses. We have to play the game. Both teams have shadows. Both teams are playing in the same conditions. You get to a point where you're playing a postseason game on the West Coast where you're going to stop and complain, and you don't do that. So you deal with the issues that are at hand. If it's something that we can address moving forward, I'll address it. It wasn't anything that any of our players brought to me prior to the game. And to this point, none of the players have brought it to my attention yet.
So Sunday, if the weather is permitting, will you play with the roof open? Or?
I'll close it for you if you stop asking these questions. I'll close it. If that's that big of a deal, I'll close it for you.
Derek, back to Chip for a minute.
Yeah.
Chip was your hire, and inevitably you ended up firing him. So, how do you self-evaluate a decision like that? Arguably one of the bigger decisions that was made since you took over.
Well, I mean, sometimes you make decisions, good decisions, bad decisions. You have to move on. But one thing is that we're going to focus on is everyone here in this organization has to be on the same page. And sometimes you're going to have to make tough decisions. I've told you that even on the baseball side of things. You make tough decisions. They're difficult to make, but they're necessary. And this was a situation that was necessary.
How much of, Derek, is this, and it's a broad question, but just the revenue source? Have you at all been surprised, or the partners been surprised at the lack of revenue? Is that an issue? Is that the business side of things that's going to struggle with Chip, or was?
You keep going. I keep telling you I'm not going to go into details. I think that's
We
a
like
decision.
details.
Look, we thank Chip for his efforts here. There's no reason to go over the details. And I've told you why the decision was made, and we'll just leave it at that.
Well, from a strategy perspective, obviously business-wise, he was very involved on there. Are you guys going to change at all your financial business plan, or do you think you're going to keep in the same plan just with different people in place?
We just move at a very fast pace. And you say different people in place, these are people that have been in place since we took over the organization. So like I said, they work tirelessly, we have the utmost trust in those 2 individuals that are going to take on increased roles moving forward.
So there's no wavering from what your current plan is?
We're not wavering from any plans, no.